Welcome to the world of Bitcoin. In this special video, you're about to embark on a complete educational journey, all in under 1 hour. A journey that will take you from the fundamental concepts of cryptocurrency to deep market analysis and future forecasts of Bitcoin. Throughout this training series, we've covered 6 core sections across 21 specialized episodes. 1. Introduction and history of Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin and why was it created? From Satoshi's white paper to the very first block. 2. How Bitcoin works. What is blockchain? How does mining and network security function? 3. Bitcoin mining in practice. How has mining evolved from 2009 to today? What equipment is needed, and is it still profitable? 4. Buying, holding, and transferring Bitcoin. Exchanges, wallets, and transaction fees. 5. Trading and investing in Bitcoin. Technical and fundamental analysis. Risks, halving events, and their effect on price. 6. The future of Bitcoin and global scenarios. Could Bitcoin become the future of money? The role of governments, comparisons to other cryptocurrencies, and projections ahead. Now it's time to bring all of these lessons together into one cohesive, practical, and inspiring experience. Ready? Let's go. Hello friends, I'm Satoshi Nakamoto, the father of blockchain and the creator of Bitcoin. Today we're taking our first step into the world of cryptocurrencies. What is Bitcoin? You've probably heard the name, but what exactly is Bitcoin? Simply put, it's a digital currency that is controlled by the people without banks or governments. Before Bitcoin, we needed banks to send money and make transactions. But what was the problem? High fees, slow processing times, and complete dependence on a central authority. In 2008, the global financial crisis showed that traditional financial systems have flaws.
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
Essentially down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
Down 1.7% here, a loss of 37 points or so. Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
We're down by between 3 and 4.5% generally across these markets.
That's when a revolutionary idea was born. A decentralized currency controlled only by the people. Bitcoin operates on blockchain, a digital ledger that records and verifies transactions. But there's a major difference from banks. No single entity has control over this network. This means you can send and receive money anywhere in the world without needing a bank, quickly, securely, and with low fees. Now that we understand what Bitcoin is, let's look at some of its key features. Decentralized. No banks are in charge here. The network is managed by everyone. Limited supply. There are only 21 million Bitcoins, meaning unlike traditional money, no one can print more. Transparent and secure. All transactions are recorded on the blockchain, and no one can alter them. Since the first Bitcoin was mined in 2009, this cryptocurrency has shaken the world and made many people millionaires. But more important than making money, the technology behind Bitcoin, blockchain, is transforming the future of finance. Now you know what Bitcoin is and why it's so important. In the next videos, we'll talk more about mining, buying and selling, and investing in Bitcoin. So stay with me. It was the year 2008. The world was facing one of the biggest financial crises in history. Banks were collapsing. People had lost trust in the financial system, and the money they had in their accounts was losing its value. But amidst all this, a revolutionary idea was born. On October 31st, 2008, an anonymous person or group under the name Satoshi Nakamoto published a paper on a cryptography forum. This paper, now known as the Bitcoin White Paper, introduced a new financial system, money that no bank controlled and could be transferred directly between individuals. In this white paper, Satoshi Nakamoto introduced a new system that operated using something called blockchain. This system allowed everyone to send and receive money without needing a bank. No middlemen, no central authority, just pure mathematics. But how was Bitcoin supposed to work? Miners would verify transactions and receive Bitcoin as a reward. Each transaction was recorded in a block, and each block was linked to the next, forming the blockchain, a system that was nearly impossible to tamper with. A few months later, on January 3rd, 2009, the first block in the Bitcoin network was mined. This block, known as the Genesis block, marked the beginning of a financial revolution. But inside this block, Satoshi left a hidden message. The Times, 3 John 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This sentence was taken from the Times newspaper on that very day, serving as a statement against the traditional banking system and a warning for the future. Bitcoin was created to solve the world's financial problems. A few days later, on January 12, 2009, the first Bitcoin transaction in history took place. Satoshi Nakamoto sent 10 Bitcoins to a programmer named Hal Finney. This was the beginning of a revolution. Gradually, more people started using Bitcoin. Developers joined the network, and what started as just an idea on paper became a real, unstoppable system. From a simple paper to the first block to the first transaction, this was the story of Bitcoin's creation. But this is just the beginning. In the next videos, we'll talk about Bitcoin mining, buying and selling, and the future of this technology. So stay with me. Imagine having to wait hours to send money to a friend, paying high fees, and relying on a central bank that controls everything. This is the system we have depended on for years. But is it really fair? Banks hold absolute power in the financial world. But what's the problem? High fees, slow transaction processing, inflation, and the risk of financial censorship. Let's take a look at the traditional financial system. Central banks can print more money whenever they want. This means the value of the money in your pocket decreases over time. This is called inflation. If a bank decides to freeze your account, you have no control over your own assets. International transactions can take days and come with high costs. The traditional system is opaque, centralized, and fully controlled. So is there a better alternative? Yes, Bitcoin. In 2009, a revolutionary solution was introduced. Bitcoin, a decentralized digital currency that no bank can control. Bitcoin operates on blockchain technology. This means all transactions are recorded, but no single entity or authority can alter or censor them. You can send Bitcoin to anyone, anytime, anywhere in the world, without needing a bank, without high fees, and without delays. So why is Bitcoin a better solution? Let's look at some of its key features. Decentralized. No government or bank has control over it. Inflation resistant. Only 21 million Bitcoins exist, unlike traditional money that can be printed endlessly. Transparent and secure. All transactions are recorded on the blockchain and can be verified by anyone. Accessible. Anyone, anywhere, can use Bitcoin. This is why Bitcoin has become one of the greatest financial innovations in history. People worldwide use it for saving, investing, and transferring money without intermediaries. Now you understand why Bitcoin was created and how it's changing the future of finance. In the next videos, we'll discuss Bitcoin mining, buying and selling, and how to use it in real life. So stay with me. Imagine you and a few friends have a shared ledger. Every time one of you sends money to another, everyone writes it down in the ledger to record who sent how much to whom. Now, if someone tries to cheat and change a number, they must convince everyone to accept the change. But if everyone has their own copy of the ledger and can compare changes, is fraud possible? No. This is exactly the idea behind blockchain. Blockchain is a digital and distributed ledger that records transaction information in a transparent and secure way. But how is it different from a bank? Decentralized. No bank or entity controls it. Distributed. A copy of it is stored across thousands of computers worldwide. Immutable. Once recorded, data cannot be erased or changed. All these features make blockchain transparent, secure, and free from reliance on any single authority. Let's see how a transaction is recorded on the blockchain. 1. User A wants to send some Bitcoin to user B. 2. This transaction is sent to the network and verified by miners. 3. Once confirmed, the transaction is placed into a block. 4. The block is then added to the blockchain and becomes unchangeable. This is where the magic of blockchain happens. Every transaction is permanent, and no one can alter it. One of the reasons blockchain is so secure is its use of cryptography and hashing. Each block contains information from the previous block, creating an unbreakable chain. If someone tries to alter one block, they would have to change all the following blocks, which is nearly impossible. Thousands of computers, nodes, worldwide store copies of the blockchain. If one copy is altered, other nodes detect the fraud and reject it. Many people think blockchain is only for Bitcoin, but this technology has incredible real-world applications. Some uses of blockchain. Smart contracts, automated transactions without intermediaries. Identity management, secure and unchangeable storage of identity data. Voting systems, preventing fraud in elections. Supply chain, transparency in tracking goods from production to delivery. Blockchain is more than just a financial system. It's a technology that can change the world. Now you understand how blockchain works and why it's one of the most revolutionary technologies of our time. In the next videos, we'll discuss Bitcoin mining, buying and selling, and how to use this technology in daily life. So stay with me. You've probably heard that Bitcoin isn't like regular money. No one can print it. But if banks don't produce Bitcoin, then where does it come from? Mining Bitcoin is similar to mining gold. Just as you need effort and resources to dig up gold, you need computing power and time to obtain Bitcoin. And this process is called mining. In traditional banking, transactions are verified by banks. But in Bitcoin, this job is done by miners. Miners play a crucial role in the Bitcoin network. Verifying transactions. Every transaction must be confirmed before being added to the blockchain. Creating new blocks. Each block contains a collection of transactions recorded on the network. Securing the network. Since miners solve complex mathematical problems to verify transactions, the network remains resistant to attacks. For a new block to be added to the blockchain, miners must solve a mathematical puzzle. This process is called proof of work. Miners must find a special value called a hash. The first miner to find the correct answer gets the right to add the new block and receives a reward. Each time a new block is mined, miners receive a reward. But this reward isn't always the same. Approximately every 4 years, the reward gets cut in half. This process is called Bitcoin halving. For example, in 2009, miners earned 50 BTC per block, but today that reward is only 6.25 BTC per block. Halving makes Bitcoin scarcer, helping it maintain its value over time. In the past, anyone could mine Bitcoin using a simple laptop. But today, mining has become highly competitive, requiring powerful hardware and a lot of electricity. Mining is still profitable for large companies and mining farms, but for individual users, electricity and hardware costs might be too high. Now you know how Bitcoin is created and the crucial role miners play in the network. In the next videos, we'll talk about mining hardware, mining pools, and how to profit from mining. So stay with me. Have you ever wondered how Bitcoin maintains its security? How is it possible to create a financial system without a central bank, financial regulators, or a manager that cannot be manipulated? The answer lies in the consensus mechanism and the proof of work, POW algorithm. In traditional banking systems, banks decide whether transactions are valid or not. But in Bitcoin, there is no central authority. So how can we determine if a transaction is real and trustworthy? This is where the consensus mechanism comes into play. Imagine you and your friend are making a deal. If there is no supervisor or contract, how can you be sure that no one is cheating? In the world of blockchain, the consensus mechanism serves this purpose. It means that a network of thousands of computers, nodes, collectively decides which transactions are valid and which are not. But how does this process work? Through a consensus algorithm. The consensus algorithm used by Bitcoin is called proof of work, POW. POW is like gold mining. Computers have to work hard to extract a new block. Miners in the Bitcoin network must solve a complex mathematical problem to verify transactions. This process requires high computing power and a lot of electricity. But why is this necessary? POW ensures that only valid transactions are added to the blockchain. This means no one can cheat or create fake Bitcoins. Because to do so, they would need to take control of the entire network's computing power, which is almost impossible. The only way to alter a transaction is to control more than 51% of the total computing power of the network. But given the vast number of miners and the massive computational power securing the network, such an attack is economically unfeasible and extremely costly. POW ensures Bitcoin security. But this algorithm has its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: high security. Hacking the network is nearly impossible. Trustless system. Users can make transactions without needing to trust a third party. Decentralization. No single entity controls the network. Disadvantages: high energy consumption. It requires a large amount of electricity and computing power. Slow transaction processing. Mining each block takes 10 minutes, which can cause delays in transaction confirmations. Now you understand how the consensus mechanism works and why the proof of work, POW algorithm secures Bitcoin. In the next videos, we'll discuss alternatives to POW, such as proof of stake, POS, and the future of consensus mechanisms in blockchain. So stay with me. Imagine you've traveled back to the year 2009. Bitcoin has just been created. Its price is nearly $0, and only a handful of people in the world know about it. Back then, there were no exchanges to buy or sell Bitcoin, and the only way to get it was through mining on personal computers. At that time, mining Bitcoin only required a home computer with a CPU. Even the weakest household computers could mine Bitcoin. There were no concerns about electricity costs or expensive equipment because the mining process was very simple and energy efficient. In return, miners received a 50 Bitcoin reward per block. At that time, mining difficulty was extremely low, and anyone with basic technical knowledge could run a few lines of code and mine hundreds of Bitcoins per day. But now, let's take a look at how things are today. In the early days, Bitcoin mining was incredibly easy. Miners used CPUs, central processing units, to mine and earned massive rewards. But as more miners joined and awareness of Bitcoin grew, the mining difficulty increased. At first, This increase in difficulty wasn't a big deal, but over time, mining with CPUs became inefficient, and miners switched to graphics processing units, GPUs. By 2011, mining with GPUs became extremely popular because graphics cards had significantly higher processing power than regular CPUs. This shift made mining several times faster, but at the same time, electricity consumption also increased. During this period, anyone with a few good GPUs could mine thousands of bitcoins per month. As mining difficulty continued to rise, even GPUs were no longer efficient. In 2013, the first ASIC, application-specific integrated circuit miners were introduced. These devices were designed exclusively for Bitcoin mining and were 10 to 100 times faster than GPUs. This led to another mining revolution. With the introduction of ASIC miners, Bitcoin mining became almost impossible for regular users. Large mining farms with thousands of ASIC machines began to emerge, and mining transformed from a home-based activity into a large-scale industry. During this phase, only those with access to cheap electricity could stay competitive. Today, Bitcoin mining is one of the most competitive industries in the world. To be profitable, miners must consider several key factors. Cheap electricity. Electricity costs are the most critical factor in mining profitability. Up-to-date equipment. New devices like the Antminer S19 consume less power and provide higher hash rates. Mining pools. Instead of solo mining, miners join mining pools to increase their chances of earning rewards. So the big question now is Bitcoin mining still profitable? The answer depends on several factors. If you have access to cheap electricity and modern equipment, then yes. If electricity costs are high and you're using outdated equipment, then probably not. Today, mining is still highly profitable for large companies and industrial mining farms. But for regular users, the situation is much more challenging. Depending on location, electricity costs, and the type of mining equipment used, profitability can vary. So now you understand how Bitcoin mining has evolved from 2009 to today. In upcoming videos, we'll talk about the best mining equipment, Bitcoin halving, and profitable mining strategies. Stay with me. Have you ever wondered what equipment you need to mine Bitcoin? Can you still mine Bitcoin with a regular laptop? Or do you need specialized, high-powered hardware? In the early days, a simple computer was enough to mine Bitcoin, but today, that's no longer possible. To enter the world of mining, you need to know about professional mining hardware. Let's take a look at the essential equipment for mining Bitcoin. There are three main types of hardware that have evolved over time for Bitcoin mining. 1. Central Processing Units, CPU, the first mining method, now obsolete and unprofitable. 2. Graphics Processing Units, GPU, more efficient than CPUs, but still not as powerful as newer hardware. 3. Application-Specific Integrated Circuits, ASICs, the fastest and most efficient way to mine Bitcoin in 2024. As you can see, ASICs are the best option for Bitcoin mining, but they are expensive and consume a lot of electricity. Now, let's take a look at the best mining devices in 2024. Antminer S19 Pro, one of the most powerful miners with 110 terahashes per second hash rate and 3,250 watts power consumption. WhatsMiner M30S, a great option for professional miners with 100 terahashes per second hash rate and optimized power usage. Avalon Miner 1246, a high-efficiency device with a 90 terahashes per second hash rate. The higher the hash rate of a device, the more Bitcoin it can mine, but at the same time it will consume more electricity. So choosing the best device depends on your electricity costs and initial investment. Having a mining device alone is not enough. For successful mining, you also need Power Supply Unit, PSU, a stable power source for mining devices. Cooling system. Miners generate a lot of heat, so proper ventilation is essential. Stable internet connection. Speed isn't crucial, but a stable and uninterrupted connection is necessary. Mining pools. Instead of solo mining, you can join a mining pool to increase your chances of earning rewards. Now, the big question. Is Bitcoin mining still profitable? The answer depends on several factors. Bitcoin price. The higher the Bitcoin price, the more profitable mining becomes. Electricity costs. Mining is much more profitable in regions with cheaper electricity. Mining hardware model. Newer devices consume less power and offer higher hash rates. If electricity costs are high and you use outdated equipment, mining might not be profitable. But if you have access to cheap electricity and modern devices, mining can be a highly lucrative investment. Now you know what equipment is needed for Bitcoin mining and how to choose the best device. In upcoming videos, we'll discuss the best ways to reduce mining costs and how to join mining pools. So stay with me. Bitcoin mining has always been one of the most exciting ways to earn money in the crypto world. But is mining still profitable? Or have skyrocketing costs and increasing network difficulty made it a useless activity? You may have heard that in the early days. Anyone could mine hundreds of Bitcoins with a simple laptop. But today, things have changed completely. To understand whether mining is profitable in 2024, we need to examine all costs and influencing factors. Let's dive in. To understand mining profitability, we first need to know what costs are involved in the mining process. The main costs include 1. Mining equipment costs. ASICs, devices like Antminer S19 Pro, WhatsMiner M50S, Avalon Miner 1366, and newer models are the most efficient mining hardware. GPUs. Some cryptocurrencies like Ethereum Classic and Ravencoin still support GPU mining, but it's no longer profitable for Bitcoin. Other equipment includes stable power systems, cooling solutions, proper cabling, and ventilation systems to prevent overheating. 2. Electricity costs. The biggest mining expense. Power consumption of devices. An Antminer S19 Pro consumes around 3,250 watts of electricity. If you run 10 devices in a farm, your daily power consumption will exceed 78 kilowatt hours. Electricity prices in different regions. Depending on the country and region, electricity costs vary significantly. For example, Kazakhstan, Russia, Iran, cheap electricity, profitable for mining. Europe, Japan, some U.S. states, expensive electricity, unprofitable for mining. 3. Maintenance and cooling costs. Mining devices generate a lot of heat. That's why industrial cooling fans, water cooling systems, and air conditioning are essential. Component replacement. ASIC fans usually need to be replaced every few months. The cost of each fan is about $10 to $30. 4. Mining pool fees. Joining mining pools like F2 Pool, Slush Pool, and Ant Pool comes with costs. Most pools charge 1% to 3% of miners' earnings as fees. As you can see, electricity and hardware are the two most critical mining expenses. But are these costs worth it? Let's examine mining revenue and profitability. To calculate profitability, we need to compare mining income with operational costs. The key factors affecting mining profitability include Bitcoin price. If BTC's price increases, mining becomes more profitable. Bitcoin network difficulty. Higher difficulty makes mining harder and less profitable. Electricity costs. In some countries, expensive electricity makes mining completely unprofitable. Type of mining equipment. Newer devices are more efficient and consume less power. Let's look at an example. Imagine you have an Antminer S19XP with a 134 terahash per second hash rate and 3,050 watt power consumption. Monthly revenue, with BTC at $40,000, $300 to $400. Electricity costs at 0.05 per kilowatt hours, $150 to $200. Net profit, $150 to $250 per month. In regions with cheap electricity, mining is highly profitable, but in areas with expensive power, mining can be completely unprofitable. Now that we understand the factors affecting mining profitability, let's explore ways to increase income and reduce costs. Use efficient equipment. New miners like the Antminer S19XP provide higher hash rates and lower power consumption. Choose the right location. If possible, mine in regions with cheaper electricity. Use renewable energy. Some miners use solar and wind power to cut electricity costs. Join mining pools. To ensure more consistent earnings, it's better to join reliable mining pools like Slush Pool or F2 Pool. Regular monitoring and maintenance. Keeping equipment clean and using proper cooling solutions extends device lifespan and reduces replacement costs. By applying these strategies, you can significantly lower mining costs and maximize profitability. After reviewing all these factors, the big question remains: is Bitcoin mining still profitable in 2024? The answer depends on your specific situation. If you have cheap electricity and modern equipment, mining can be a great investment. But if your electricity costs are high and you use outdated miners, mining can be completely unprofitable. So before you enter the mining world, make sure to calculate all costs and potential earnings to determine if mining is right for you. Now that we've covered mining costs, profitability, and ways to optimize your setup, you can decide whether Bitcoin mining is a good opportunity for you. In the upcoming videos, we'll discuss how to buy and sell Bitcoin, trading strategies, investing in crypto, and the future of Bitcoin and digital assets. Stay tuned. Do you want to buy Bitcoin but don't know where and how? Is buying Bitcoin complicated, or can it be done easily? In this video, I'll teach you how to buy Bitcoin, which exchanges to use, and how to securely manage your assets. Let's get started. Today, there are various ways to buy Bitcoin, but it's important to choose the safest and most convenient method. Buying from centralized exchanges, CEX. Centralized exchanges are the most popular and widely used method for buying Bitcoin. These exchanges allow you to buy Bitcoin using fiat currencies, such as the United States dollar, the euro, Turkish lira, or Iranian rial. Some of the most reputable exchanges include Binance, one of the largest and most trusted exchanges in the world. Coinbase, best option for beginners. Kraken, ideal for professional users. Qcoin, supports a large number of cryptocurrencies. Bybit, OKX, suitable for buying, selling, and trading Bitcoin. When using centralized exchanges, identity verification, KYC, may be required. If you want to buy Bitcoin without KYC and anonymously, decentralized exchanges, DEXs, are a good option. Some well-known decentralized exchanges include BISC, a DEX specifically for peer-to-peer Bitcoin transactions. HODL, a decentralized marketplace for buying Bitcoin. With this method, you need to have a personal wallet and conduct transactions directly with the seller. Another method for buying Bitcoin is through peer-to-peer, P2P marketplaces. In this method, people trade directly with each other, Some popular P2P platforms include Binance P2P, enables direct Bitcoin purchases from various sellers. market. Paxful supports over 300 payment methods. And when buying via P2P, always purchase from sellers with high ratings to avoid scams. Of the journey. Some countries have Bitcoin ATMs, allowing you to buy Bitcoin with cash. All you need to do is enter your wallet address, insert cash, and receive Bitcoin. Websites like Coin ATM Radar can help you locate the nearest Bitcoin ATM. Of money, some Bitcoin ATMs charge high fees, 10–20%. There are various payment methods available when buying Bitcoin. Depending on the exchange, you can use credit debit cards, Visa, MasterCard. Fast and convenient, but usually has high fees. Bank transfers, wire transfer. Lower fees but takes longer than card payments. PayPal or other e-wallets. Supported by some exchanges like eToro and Coinbase. Crypto-to-crypto exchange. You can swap Bitcoin for Tether, USDT, or other cryptocurrencies. Cash payment. Available via P2P marketplaces or Bitcoin ATMs. Before buying Bitcoin, always follow these safety tips. Use reputable exchanges. Always check if the exchange is trustworthy and secure. Have a secure wallet. Store your Bitcoin in a hardware wallet, Ledger, Trezor, or a secure software wallet, Trust Wallet, Exodus, Blue Wallet. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA. This adds an extra layer of security. Be cautious of scams. Avoid deals offering Bitcoin at prices lower than the market rate. By following these steps, you can safely and securely buy Bitcoin. Now you know how to buy Bitcoin, which exchanges to use, and how to do it securely. In upcoming videos, we'll discuss crypto wallets, how to send and receive Bitcoin, and the best trading and investment strategies. Stay tuned. Congratulations! You've bought Bitcoin, but now the most important question is, how do you protect it? Should you keep your Bitcoin in an exchange, or do you need a crypto wallet? Just like you store cash in a physical wallet or a bank account, you need a crypto wallet to securely store Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But how do these wallets work? Are they safe? What are the differences between different types of wallets? In this video, we will answer all these questions. Let's get started. A crypto wallet is essentially a software or hardware tool that allows you to store, send, and receive cryptocurrencies. But unlike a physical wallet, crypto wallets don't actually store the cryptocurrency itself. They store your private keys. What is a private key? A private key is a long string of numbers and letters that grants access to your digital assets. Anyone who has this key can control your cryptocurrency, so you must keep it safe at all times. Important note: unlike a bank account, crypto wallets give you full control over your assets. This means if you lose your private key, your funds will be gone forever. Not all crypto wallets are the same, and depending on your needs, there are different types available. Wallets are mainly divided into two categories. Hot wallets, always connected to the internet. These wallets are online and are great for quick and frequent transactions, but they are more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Mobile and desktop wallets. Trust Wallet, perfect for both beginners and advanced users. Exodus, simple interface and built-in swap functionality. Atomic Wallet, supports a wide range of cryptocurrencies. Web-based wallets. MetaMask, popular for interacting with Ethereum and Web3. MyEtherWallet, MEW, a dedicated wallet for Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. Exchange wallets. Binance Wallet, integrated wallet for Binance Exchange users. Coinbase Wallet, a great option for beginners. Hot wallets are always connected to the internet, so they are more vulnerable to hacking and cyber threats. It's recommended not to store large amounts of crypto in these wallets. If security is your top priority, cold wallets are the best option. These wallets are not connected to the internet, making them much safer from cyber attacks. Hardware wallets. Ledger Nano X, one of the most secure hardware wallets. Trezor Model T, trusted by many professional investors. Paper wallets. This method involves printing your private key on paper and storing it offline. While extremely secure, if the paper is lost or damaged, your assets will be gone forever. Cold wallets are safe from hacking, but if you lose your private key, there's no way to recover your funds. How can we protect our digital assets from hackers and cyber theft? 1. Always back up your private key. Write it on paper and store it in a safe place. 2. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA. 3. Buy hardware wallets from trusted sources. 4. Keep your wallet software updated. 5. Watch out for phishing scams and suspicious links. By following these steps, your digital assets will remain secure. Now you understand what a crypto wallet is, the different types available, and how to keep them secure. In upcoming videos, we will cover how to send and receive Bitcoin, the best trading and investment strategies, and ways to earn from cryptocurrencies. Stay tuned. Have you ever wondered how to send or receive Bitcoin? Is this process complicated, or can it be done easily? In this video, I will teach you how to send and receive Bitcoin, how transaction fees are calculated, and how you can reduce the cost of sending Bitcoin. Let's get started. To send and receive Bitcoin, you need a digital wallet. Your wallet has a public address, public key, which works similarly to a bank account number. How to receive Bitcoin. Share your wallet address with the sender. The sender enters the amount of Bitcoin and submits the transaction. Once confirmed on the blockchain, the Bitcoin will appear in your wallet. How to send Bitcoin. Enter the recipient's wallet address. Specify the amount of Bitcoin to send. Set the transaction fee, higher for faster confirmation, lower for slower confirmation. Confirm and send the transaction. But how does Bitcoin get transferred from one wallet to another? When you send a transaction, it enters the mempool, memory pool, a waiting area where unconfirmed transactions are stored until miners process them. Miners select new transactions and include them in a block. Once the block is confirmed, your transaction is recorded on the blockchain. After a few confirmations, the Bitcoin is successfully delivered to the recipient's wallet. How long does it take? Usually between 10 to 60 minutes, depending on the selected transaction fee. Some wallets allow you to pay a higher fee for faster processing. One of the most important aspects of sending Bitcoin is the transaction fee. This fee is paid to miners for confirming your transaction. Factors that determine the transaction fee. Network congestion. If many users are sending Bitcoin at the same time, fees increase. Transaction size. Larger transactions take up more space in the blockchain and cost more. Custom fee settings. Some wallets let you manually set the fee to be higher or lower. Key takeaway. Higher fees. Faster confirmation. Lower fees. Longer waiting time. If you don't want to pay high fees for sending Bitcoin, try these strategies. 1. Send transactions during low traffic hours. Fees are lower when the network is not congested. 2. Use the Lightning Network. This allows instant Bitcoin transactions with very low fees. 3. Choose wallets that allow custom fee settings. Some wallets let you manually adjust transaction fees. 4. Use SegWit transactions. Wallets that support SegWit can help reduce transaction costs. By following these tips, you can reduce Bitcoin transaction fees and speed up your transfers. Now you know how to send and receive Bitcoin, how transactions work, and how to minimize transaction costs. In upcoming videos, we will discuss the best trading strategies, how to securely store Bitcoin, and ways to earn money from cryptocurrencies. Stay tuned. Do you want to trade Bitcoin but don't know where to start? Should you base your decisions on charts or news and economic analysis? In this video, you will learn about the two main methods of analyzing the Bitcoin market: technical analysis and fundamental analysis. You will also discover how to reduce risks and maximize profits with the right strategies. Stay with me. Before we begin, let's understand what Bitcoin trading means. Trading Bitcoin means buying and selling Bitcoin at the right time to make a profit. Trading is different from long-term investing. Traders seek price fluctuations in short time frames. Bitcoin's market is highly volatile, so you need to know the right analysis methods to succeed. But how can we predict whether Bitcoin's price will go up or down? The answer lies in technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Technical analysis is the study of Bitcoin's price movements based on historical data. This method helps traders predict future trends using charts and patterns. Key tools in technical analysis. Candlestick charts represent price changes over different time frames. Support and resistance levels identify price points where Bitcoin is likely to bounce or break through. Indicators like moving average, MA, identifies the overall price trend. Relative strength index, RSI, detects overbought and oversold conditions. Moving average convergence divergence, MACD, analyzes trend strength and momentum. Example: if Bitcoin's price reaches a strong support level and the RSI indicator shows an oversold condition, there is a high chance of a price rebound. Fundamental analysis focuses on factors that influence Bitcoin's price. This method looks at news, economic policies, and overall market indicators to determine the value of Bitcoin. Key factors in fundamental analysis: news and economic events, such as major companies accepting Bitcoin or new government regulations. Supply and demand, events like Bitcoin having reduced supply, which can drive prices up. Whale activity, large investors, whales, making significant buy or sell moves. Macroeconomic indicators, factors like inflation rates and interest rates that affect financial markets. Example: if a major country like the United States announces Bitcoin as a legal asset, demand will increase and prices are likely to rise. Now that you've learned both methods, which one is better? The best strategy is to combine technical and fundamental analysis. Technical analysis helps you identify the right entry and exit points. Fundamental analysis helps you understand why the market is moving and the overall trend direction. Example of a successful trade. If positive news about Bitcoin is released, fundamental analysis, and the technical charts show a strong support level, it might be a good time to buy. Before you start trading, always remember these key tips. 1. Manage your risk properly. Never risk more than 5% of your capital on a single trade. 2. Use stop-loss orders. Always set a stop-loss level to limit your potential losses. 3. Control your emotions. Don't let fear and greed dictate your trading decisions. 4. Use different time frames. Short time frames for quick trades, longer time frames for trend analysis. 5. Stay updated with market news. Government regulations and major financial events can have a huge impact on Bitcoin's price. By following these tips, you can become a more successful Bitcoin trader and take advantage of market fluctuations. Now you know how to trade Bitcoin, the difference between technical and fundamental analysis, and how to optimize your strategy. In the next videos, we will discuss risk management in trading, the best long-term investment strategies, and how to predict market trends. Stay tuned. Investing in Bitcoin can be an incredible opportunity to make a profit. But is this investment risk-free? The truth is, Bitcoin, like any other asset, comes with its own risks. If you enter this market without proper knowledge, you might lose your investment. In this video, we will explore the biggest risks of investing in Bitcoin and learn how to protect your assets from potential dangers. So, stay with me. One of the biggest risks of Bitcoin is its extreme price volatility. Bitcoin's price can change by 10%, 20%, or even more in a single day. In 2017, Bitcoin fell from $20,000 to $3,000. In 2021, Bitcoin dropped from $64,000 to $30,000. How to manage this risk? Instead of investing all your money, allocate only a portion of your capital to Bitcoin. Focus on risk management strategies. Consider long-term investing instead of day trading. Example: if you panic and sell your Bitcoin during a market downturn, you might regret it when the price goes back up. Unlike banks, in the world of Bitcoin, if your assets are hacked, they cannot be recovered. Over the years, millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin have been stolen from exchanges and insecure wallets. If you lose your private key, there is no way to recover your Bitcoin. How to protect your assets? Use hardware wallets or cold wallets to store your Bitcoin securely. Keep your private key in a safe place and always have a backup. Use reputable and secure exchanges for buying and selling. Example: in 2014, the Mt. Gox exchange was hacked, and 850,000 Bitcoins were stolen. Many investors lost all their funds. Another major risk of investing in Bitcoin is government regulations and legal restrictions. Some countries have banned Bitcoin, like China. Some governments are imposing heavy taxes on Bitcoin transactions. If new strict regulations are introduced, they could negatively impact Bitcoin's price. How to manage this risk? Always stay updated on Bitcoin-related news and policies. Diversify your investments instead of focusing solely on Bitcoin. Use platforms that comply with regulations in your country. Example: in 2021, when China banned Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin's price dropped significantly. Your biggest enemy in the market is your emotions. When Bitcoin's price rises, greed makes people buy at high prices. When Bitcoin's price falls, fear causes people to sell at a loss. Emotions can lead to bad decisions and heavy losses. How to control this risk? Have a clear strategy for buying and selling before entering the market. Use stop loss and take profit orders to manage risks. Stay in control of your trades and avoid emotional decisions. Example: many people bought Bitcoin at its peak and panic sold when the price dropped, while those who held on to their investment eventually made a profit. Now you know that investing in Bitcoin is not without risks. But with knowledge and proper risk management, you can avoid potential pitfalls and succeed in this market. Key risks we covered: extreme price volatility and how to manage it, hacking risks and securing your digital wallet, government regulations and their impact on the market, controlling emotions to avoid bad investment decisions. Have you ever faced investment risks in Bitcoin? Share your experiences in the comments. In upcoming videos, we'll discuss the best capital management strategies, trading techniques, and essential security tips for protecting your digital assets. Stay with me. Did you know that every 4 years, a major event occurs in the Bitcoin network that can have a significant impact on its price? This event is called Bitcoin halving. one of the most crucial economic mechanisms in the world of cryptocurrencies. In this video, you'll learn about Bitcoin halving and why this event can significantly influence Bitcoin's price. So, stay with me. Bitcoin halving means reducing the block reward for mining Bitcoin by half. In 2009, when Bitcoin was first created, miners received 50 BTC as a reward for each new block. Every 4 years, this amount is cut in half. Why is this important? Halving reduces the supply of Bitcoin in the market, while demand may remain constant or even increase. This dynamic can have a significant impact on Bitcoin's price. In economics, when the supply of an asset decreases while demand stays the same or rises, the price of that asset tends to increase. After every halving, the available supply of Bitcoin decreases. Miners receive fewer Bitcoins, meaning fewer coins are available for sale. As a result, if demand for Bitcoin rises, its price is likely to increase as well. As you can see, every time a halving has occurred, Bitcoin's price has risen significantly afterward. But will this trend continue? The big question is, will the 2024 halving also lead to a Bitcoin price increase? Some analysts believe that the 2024 halving, like the previous ones, will drive Bitcoin's price higher. However, others argue that since this event is now widely expected, its impact may be less significant than before. Example: if demand for Bitcoin increases in 2024 while supply decreases, its price could rise just like it did in previous halvings. Now you understand what Bitcoin halving is and how it can impact the price of this cryptocurrency. But will the same trend repeat in 2024? No one knows for sure. But history has shown that halvings have always played a crucial role in Bitcoin's price movements. What do you think? Will the 2024 halving push Bitcoin's price higher? Share your thoughts in the comments. In upcoming videos, we'll discuss investment strategies, market analysis, and Bitcoin's future. Stay tuned. Will banks cease to exist in the near future? Will paper money be replaced by cryptography? Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency that emerged in 2009, is now at the center of attention for economists, governments, and millions of investors. In this video, we'll explore this important question. Can Bitcoin redefine the financial future of the world, or is it just a passing trend? To understand why Bitcoin became so popular so quickly, we need to look at why people are dissatisfied with traditional financial systems. 1. The 2008 financial crisis. 2. Technical and conceptual advantages of Bitcoin. 3. Security and personal ownership. These factors have led Bitcoin to be known as digital gold and attracted the attention of millions around the world. If Bitcoin is so great, why isn't everyone using it yet? Let's examine the challenges. 1. High price volatility. 2. Limited scalability and slow network speed. 3. High energy consumption. 4. Lack of global regulation. These challenges are real, but they are not unsolvable. If we want to look realistically at Bitcoin's future, we need to consider several scenarios. Scenario 1. Bitcoin as a global store of value. Scenario 2. Bitcoin as an international payment infrastructure. Scenario 3. Coexistence with traditional systems. Scenario 4. More advanced versions of Bitcoin. Statistics show that more than 100 million people worldwide own Bitcoin, and this number continues to grow. Now you have a more complete view. Bitcoin is not just a currency, it's an idea. An idea of financial freedom, transparency, and individual control over assets. Will this idea become the future of finance? Maybe not this year or next year, but Bitcoin has started a movement that can no longer be stopped. What do you think? Is Bitcoin the money of the future? Or just a digital asset for investment? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Bitcoin was created to eliminate intermediaries and build a decentralized financial system. But the big question is, will governments accept this technology or fight against it? And ultimately, what role will regulation play in Bitcoin's future? From the perspective of governments, Bitcoin is both a threat and an opportunity. Threats: loss of government control over money printing, difficulty tracking transactions, potential use in money laundering, tax evasion, illegal purchases, capital flight from traditional banking systems. Opportunities: attracting investment and innovation in fintech, tax revenue from crypto activities, developing digital infrastructure and greater transparency, competitive edge in the global economy. So, government behavior fluctuates between limited acceptance, complete opposition, and conditional cooperation. Depending on their internal politics and economics, countries have responded differently to Bitcoin. 1. Acceptance and legalization. El Salvador accepted Bitcoin as official currency. USA permits trading and custody by institutions. Switzerland and Singapore clear regulations to attract innovation and capital too. Restrictions or bans. China banned mining, trading, and even advertising. Morocco, Algeria, Nepal, full prohibition of Bitcoin use. 3. Gray areas. Many countries like Iran, Russia, India fall into partial use, incomplete regulation, or legal silence. These diverse approaches make Bitcoin's market highly sensitive to political decisions. Regulation can either accelerate Bitcoin's growth or hinder it. Restrictive laws, limited public access to exchanges, high capital gains taxes, strict KYC/AML requirements, bans on mining or running nodes, supportive laws, official licenses for exchanges and related firms, clear and fair taxation frameworks, support for domestic blockchain projects, education and integration of blockchain into economic systems. Lawmakers' behavior plays a critical role in Bitcoin's future. A common question is, if governments don't want Bitcoin, can they stop it? Governments cannot shut down the Bitcoin blockchain. It runs on thousands of decentralized nodes worldwide. But they can make access harder through banking restrictions, exchange bans, and strict laws. The result? Bitcoin is unstoppable. But how easily it can be used depends on each country's regulations. Governments are not just barriers to Bitcoin. They play a key role in shaping its future. If regulations are smart, transparent, and supportive, Bitcoin can become part of official financial systems. But if the laws are restrictive, Bitcoin will return to its most underground form, but never disappear. The future of Bitcoin is caught in a silent battle between government centralization and technological decentralization. And this battle has only just begun. What do you think? Can governments control Bitcoin? Or will they ultimately be forced to cooperate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this video was helpful, like it, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Bitcoin is the first and most well-known cryptocurrency, but the crypto world is much bigger than just Bitcoin. In this video, we'll explore the main categories of cryptocurrencies, from Bitcoin to altcoins, stablecoins, project-based tokens, equity tokens, and even meme coins that actually have real projects behind them. Bitcoin is like digital gold, a store of value, anti-inflationary and secure, but not very fast or cheap. Key features: limited supply, fully decentralized and ownerless, extremely secure, no smart contract functionality. Altcoins like Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano are used for smart contracts, gaming, NFTs, DeFi, and more. But here's where things get interesting. Some tokens are specifically designed for certain projects. For example, BCN and TIM are native tokens of a real NFT game called BCN Garden. In this game, players can buy seeds, water, and NFT items. By playing, users earn these tokens. They're used within the ecosystem and even tradable outside the game. These tokens show that crypto isn't just about trading. It can be part of a real digital economy. Equity tokens like BEMs represent real ownership in a company, foundation, or major project. By buying these tokens, you become a shareholder in the project's profits. Like stock, their price rises or falls based on company performance. It can be more transparent, faster, and more global than traditional stock markets. These tokens are part of a new revolution in digital ownership. Stablecoins like USDT and USDC are designed for easy, fast, and stable trading. Price stable, widely used by traders. Act as a bridge between fiat and crypto, but we must be cautious of reserve transparency, freezing risks, and regulation. Meme coins often start with humor and strong communities, like Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. But some, like GBTC, actually have real projects behind them. GBTC is the native token of the game Gold BTC. Mining players simulate early Bitcoin mining in the game. GBTC is earned as a reward for in-game activity. This meme coin with real utility has become a valuable asset. This proves that not all meme coins are jokes. Some are functional and economic too. Choosing between Bitcoin, altcoins, stablecoins, project tokens, equity tokens, or meme coins depends on your goals. Looking for long-term value? Bitcoin. Interested in innovation or DeFi? Altcoins. Need price stability? Stablecoins. Want to support real projects? BCN and TIM. Want a share in profits? BEMs. Want fun plus rewards? GBTC. Understanding these differences can completely change how you invest in and use crypto. Let us know in the comments. Which type of token do you use the most? And don't forget to share this video with your crypto friends. Bitcoin was born in 2009. Not on Wall Street, not in a central bank office, but inside a simple PDF published on an obscure online forum. Its goal was simple but radical: to build a decentralized, transparent financial system without trusted intermediaries. Today, more than a decade later, Bitcoin is no longer just an open-source project. It's a topic that captivates investors, governments, and everyday people alike. But why is its future still so uncertain? Because technology is only part of the story. Bitcoin's future won't be decided by code alone. It will be shaped by our choices, by the behavior of governments, and by global market forces. In this program, we'll explore 4 major scenarios that may define Bitcoin's future. Each scenario has the potential to redefine money as we know it. Or perhaps the reality will be a combination of all 4. Scenario 1. Bitcoin as a global store of value. The first scenario envisions Bitcoin as digital gold. Not something you use to buy coffee, but something you buy, hold, and protect. A long-term store of value. In this scenario, people turn to Bitcoin to fight inflation, escape financial sanctions, and reject failing institutions. Like gold, Bitcoin has a limited supply, only 21 million coins, immutable, scarce, and portable. Countries suffering from hyperinflation, like Venezuela, Argentina, and Turkey, have already turned their attention to Bitcoin. On the other side, institutional investors like MicroStrategy, Fidelity, and BlackRock have begun allocating BTC in their portfolios. Central banks, in the not-so-distant future, may be forced to diversify their reserves with Bitcoin. In this trajectory, Bitcoin becomes a global hedge, a financial insurance policy for a collapsing economic order. Scenario 2. Bitcoin as a global payment system. The second scenario doesn't see Bitcoin as a savings vehicle, but as a fast, low-cost, and borderless payment system. Technologies like the Lightning Network now allow Bitcoin transactions to be processed in seconds with near-zero fees. Today, in countries like El Salvador, people use Bitcoin to buy coffee, top up phones, and pay utility bills. Platforms like Strike are helping Bitcoin rival legacy systems like SWIFT and Visa, especially in Latin America. In this scenario, Bitcoin becomes the internet's native money, especially for the billions who are unbanked but have access to smartphones. Scenario 3. Coexistence with governments and CBDCs. The third scenario is neither war nor full dominance. It's coexistence. Bitcoin operates alongside government-backed digital currencies, or CBDCs. While governments focus on CBDCs for daily payments and monetary control, Bitcoin maintains its role as a decentralized, borderless asset. In this future, you may have a crypto credit card and a Bitcoin ETF listed on your national stock exchange. Countries like China, the European Union, and Russia are already experimenting with this dual structure model. In this scenario, Bitcoin becomes an integrated part of the financial system, without fully sacrificing its independence. Scenario 4. Suppression and underground activity. And now, the fourth scenario. Bitcoin faces severe crackdown. Governments like China, India, Egypt, and Morocco have already moved to ban Bitcoin at various points. But Bitcoin cannot be shut down. It runs on thousands of decentralized nodes around the world. In response to crackdowns, users shift to decentralized wallets, rely on VPNs, and relocate mining operations to more crypto-friendly regions. In this scenario, Bitcoin becomes an underground commodity, much like gold during United States Prohibition. Its price may become highly volatile, but its core philosophy, financial freedom, lives on. And perhaps this very resistance is what will make Bitcoin stronger. No one can say with certainty which of these scenarios will become reality. The future may be a combination of all of them. Bitcoin could be digital gold for some, digital cash for others, and merely a memory in certain countries. But one thing is clear. Bitcoin sits at the intersection of technology, politics, and economics. The decisions we make today, as users, as governments, and as investors, will define the future of money. Now I ask you, which of these scenarios do you think is most likely? And if it's a blend of them, how do you think that will reshape the world economy in the next decade? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because the future of Bitcoin won't be predicted. It will be co-created. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're now among the rare few who see crypto not just as profit, but with understanding, insight, and purpose. Through this course, we discovered together that Bitcoin is not just a currency. It's a symbol of financial independence, transparency, security, and a decentralized future. You now know how to enter this market, how to manage and analyze your digital assets, and how to make informed decisions in a space many still don't truly understand. This is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of something much bigger. The future of crypto belongs to those who learn today, analyze wisely, and act consciously, just like you. So keep going, keep learning, keep building, and never forget, the future of money is now.